Great day, everybody. We're going to try something a little different today. I'm going to take a build that costs about 1,000 divines to make, and then I'm going to see how well it performs on a 5 divine budget. Let's get into it. Get started here. We're going to go through and we're going to run a single map with a bunch of juice on it, and we're going to see how this build performs. As I talk here, I'm just going to kind of hover over each item to kind of see what it's working with. It's not the best in slot necessarily for everything, but it's just what I've came up with. This gear cost about, I would say with jewels and everything, probably costs about 1,000 divines. You know, obviously big pieces like the mage blood, that's going to be, I think I got it pretty cheap actually, like 300, but to get a similar one it may cost 6 or 1,000, I'm not sure, but these gloves are pretty cheap. But yeah, just all these pieces, that's basically what I was running on this guy. With other things like this megalomaniac, I got it for 30 divine. Again, to get this specific thing it may cost a lot more. We're going to be running these two maps. They're basically the same. You know, one has one less maximum resistance, but the other one penetrates an extra resistance. So I'm, you know, basically the same thing. We got 28 effectiveness on those, and then on the maps I'm going to do a 200% delirious map. I already got these up, and we have some effectiveness on these tablets. We're gonna run double breach just because whatever, it has a lot of monsters, good testing thing. Then this last tablet doesn't have effectiveness, but it does for rare breach monsters. So when you get the pile of monsters at the end, they're going to be really strong, and just the effectiveness on the maps, they're going to have a lot of life. So we're going to see how well this build does against it. So that's its own little kind of test, but I think it should be fine. And then we're gonna take these 5 divines I have here, and then I'm gonna go through and I'll get all new gear, and we'll see how well it performs. I'll obviously have to get rid of those jewels and everything. I'll do my best to strip away anything that costs anything, and we'll see how it performs. All right, let's run the maps. All right, we're in the first map. Let's go see what we got. I'm not too worried if I end up dying. I mean, this is really juiced, so we will see. But if anything, we can compare it. At least, you know, right now I am killing stuff. As I'm talking, maybe I'll overdub some of this so I can talk a little more without, you know, really screwing up a lot, because yeah, it is a little bit harder content, so I do want to focus. So yeah, like that. Yep, it's going to be a lot of damage.
Okay, so I sped up the camera to about twice as fast, so I'm not really this fast, but yeah, I'm just going through, and I'm having a little difficulty. I don't think it was a great map. Obviously having resistance penetration and minus my resistance, I probably wouldn't run those modifiers. It didn't allow me to really move through the map that great. So I do end up dying here. I do slow down the video a little bit just to show you, because I remembered I wanted to show like all the modifiers. My big dumb head's in the way, so you can't see like some of them, but yeah, the monster effectiveness is on there and everything, so you can see it's a pretty juice map, pretty difficult. I don't end up getting to the breach or anything. I think just trying to film it and focus on what I was doing, like I didn't play well, and there I almost died because I was trying to show the mods. So you can just see, if you want to pause the video, you can see what mods that was running, well, at least most of them. Near the bottom there is the monster effectiveness. I believe it was about like 60%, something like that, just on the map itself, not including anything that comes from the other modifiers in the map itself, for passive stuff like that. So I do a little bit of a run here. I probably could have beaten this map. It does enough damage. I have beaten maps like this before. I've beaten them in 2-player with my brother, so I know the build is capable of it. Just, yeah, I wasn't really warmed up. Not making excuses, just, yeah, it could be a lot of things. The map, those little lightning things, those are really powerful. If anyone comes across them, you would know that, you know, scan across the map, because they don't just hit you where the lightning is, it also stretches out and hits you. So you have to be really careful of those. They do a lot of damage, and they get you at a low threshold that if someone the monster slams you with a skill, which you'll see here in a second. That's what ends up killing me. You're just not prepared for a big slam. So yeah, normally I wouldn't run maps that are lowering my resistances that much. You know, you either roll some or you pay a little bit more currency so that you can, you know, get through that easier. Okay, so there, obviously, I don't know, that map was very difficult, obviously. A lot of effectiveness, 200% delirium. This is not something you would be running on the norm. Maybe you would even want to do group play for that. Or, yeah, you just got to have a really well-rounded character. If I was paying a little more attention, I probably wouldn't have died where I did, but it is possible. We know with this build as it is, it's definitely possible to kill everything. It's possible to live. But we're going to get into now, I'm going to look at this gear. We're going to take these, and I'm just going to obviously speed it up, but we're going to go through and we're just going to spend these 5 divine, get some different gear. We'll take this jewel out right here, because this is 30 divine itself, and then this jewel is actually 30 divine as well, but it's, you know, I can easily get these stats between the two of them. So instead of taking time on that, I'm just going to leave that as is. And then I don't believe these jewels are too expensive. So okay, here I was just basically looking for maxing out my resistances. I was trying to get high enough evasion rating and energy shield to make sure that I'm just not going to get one shot. And then on the weapon, I really just went for something that at least had the plus to skills. Obviously, weapons are going to be your most expensive thing to invest in. That's going to really alter, you know, really scale your damage a lot depending on the build. Some builds, you know, some niche builds not so much, but most builds your weapon is the biggest slot, and that's where you're going to spend a lot of your money, other than like a mage blood and stuff like that. Specific uniques might be really high, but that's basically what I was going for here. Alright, so we did switch out the gear. I'm not feeling too confident about it, honestly. We're at like 119k now. This essence drain is at 22k. A lot of things vary that though, because certain different aspects of the build. But we still had about half our currency left. I will say 5 divine is a little tough, because like if you're around 5 divine, you're working in exalted really, because you have more than 5 pieces. You can't even spend a divine on it. So I'd say, like, you know, even 10, 20 divine would probably make this a lot better, just because you could spend a divine or 2 on each piece. But yeah, that's basically what we got with these. You know, we basically just focused on resistances. We got a decent staff, got a resistances max, because that will just flat out kill us. We got, you know, evasion to 44. It's not too bad compared to what it was. We got high energy shield and evasion on everything. Got a cheap version, like 20 exalted of this amulet. So just all cheaper stuff, and we'll see kind of how it runs. I don't think it's going to do too well in this map, but yeah, I'm way slower. I'm imagining this is not going to go over well, but that's fine. We're testing it out. There also is a side note that this would be even worse, because I have all my skills to level 20, and 20 skill gems are not cheap. But anyways, let's give this a whirl and see what we're doing here. I'm again gonna overdub because I gotta try and focus and see. I don't even know if we're gonna be able to even kill anything, so let's just see what we got here. It is a different map, different enemies, so it could be a little different. Let's just see if we can actually get some. I mean, so far, until we hit a really bad rare, then we're probably screwed. Ah. Alright, I am so slow. This is bad news bears. I mean, we're killing stuff. We're killing stuff. So the build still holds true. That, I mean, even with 100k less damage, I mean, we're functioning on like 15% of the damage. Again, it shows differently, you know, on the DPS. I'm sure everyone knows that. But yeah, even my survivability is a little lacking now. But yeah, we're working our way through it. I mean, this is 200% delirium, at least. Here's the mods for this map. It's gonna get me killed. It almost got me killed in the last one, just trying to check the mods. But that's the mods for the map. So I wouldn't say it's an easy map by any means. So yeah, what are we at in effectiveness?
Where is it? I can never find them on these things. Effectiveness. We got 37 plus 28. And then yeah, if we can get any more from like the breach and stuff, but yeah, I doubt this guy's gonna be able to get there. But I don't know, if I think that was the thing, I was kind of just waking up doing the other version. That should be able to do this content pretty easily. I was probably just trying to like move too fast. This stuff is, yeah, really tough, and it's probably better, like I said, with multiple players, and yeah, trying to work together. This will probably kill me. Let me just do this. This'll kill me. Hold on. Let me get it exalted, because I want to see, even if I could kill it somehow, I want to be able to get I don't know, hopefully a good drop out of it, because this is juice to the teeth. This is what you're looking to run if you're looking to juice maps. So, oh, I should have set up before that. Ah, don't kill me. If it doesn't go too crazy, but that's it. No, that's it. Yeah, I knew as soon as I came across the first rare. So obviously big difference, but yeah, let's just pop like a easier map in. And so we only got 2 tablets, a lot less of everything. Should be easier. Let's see what this guy can do. And then I'll switch back to my other gear real quick, and then I'm not going to complete the whole map. I'm just going to kind of compare what the difference is. Obviously a lot easier to live. I could probably move along a lot quicker. Yeah, kill stuff a lot easier. 200% delirium. The amount of life it gives them is quite insane. Plus if you add any other effectiveness on top of it. So again, yeah, this build is, even at, you know, 5 divine budget, doing P16 with, you know, light juicing, not anything crazy. It definitely, I mean, this seems like no problem. I mean, definitely I want to get boots. If in my last 2.5 divines, I would probably spend on boots just so I could move a little faster, but you know, it's fine. It's cool. It's done pretty good, you know. It's not horrible. I don't, you know, obviously you got to be really careful because you're taking a lot of damage. But all right, so that's kind of how that's going. Let me just kill these guys, and then I'll show you kind of where the 1000 divine gear is at, because yeah, it was a little hard on those maps. I didn't know. I mean, it's hard when you're juicing to actually know exactly how hard it's gonna get. So it is what it is. But yeah, let's put everything back on this character real quick. Alright, there we go. We're back. So we're back to the 119. Alright, so let's go back in here. Let's see what this this feels like instead. I mean, obviously I put my other boots on, right? Yeah. Obviously we're a lot faster. We can kind of just spam the 2 skills. Isn't a great map for this either, but with this build, this is basically what I do. I just keep moving. Okay, I thought I could go there. I can't. Basically just keep moving and putting stuff on the guys and let them kind of die over time. That guy, oh, he's a wisp. That's why. I was like, he has a lot of health. Yeah. So it obviously is a lot easier. You kill a lot quicker, but it just depends on what you want to do. I would say those juice maps, obviously on a low budget, you're better off just running maps like this. You know, maybe just get it to, you have to have to run 2 tablets, you have to have a rare modded map. You know, oh my god. See, talking, I can die anyways, just talking. Not a great showing. Anyways, first try of this type of video that I'm gonna do, but here, yeah, I'll show you the boss real quick for this. But yeah, just try and run stuff a little lighter if you're running on a low budget, because yeah, as you see, trying to do what you see people doing with, that's the thing, this character is only probably about 1,000 divines, which people spend on 1 piece. So when you're seeing all these builds and you're trying to follow a guide and you're like, well, I have most of it, like, no, it all makes a really big difference. So don't like beat yourself up about it. Just, you know, do what you can. Try and run maps where you're at least clearing it fast. You're not dying a lot, otherwise you're never going to level up. And you want to get to level 100 and everything. But anyways, that was the comparison of that. Let me know in the comments if you want to see like me do any other comparisons. I'm going to try and do some more testing videos like this. I still got to get to some of my other videos, just explaining more stuff, just the end game. It's like, again, I've just been playing all of it. So I got to kind of focus one thing again and kind of write down notes, and so I can actually do some videos on how to utilize each aspect of the end game. But that's about all I got for you guys. See you in the next one. Peace.